And welcome back to my channel and to part one of the DigiCool Things Tech Challenge. In the video, hash 208 domestic power meter RF time switch, DigiCool Things noticed that this processor, even though it's got a mask prom in it, it can be made to ignore the internal prom and run from an external EEPROM. So he set me a challenge, or kind of a challenge, in the comment section that I should build a retro PC. Not a retro PC, but a retro computer board. Because I've been watching and making comments on his channel about the retro computer he's been making, and it's very good. You should go and watch it. Maybe I'll throw a link up there. And so these are the components that I've pinched off the board. So we've got the HD63A01V1 processor. We have some pull-ups, 8-in-1 pull-ups, and the 6 megs crystal, and some 100 nanofarad capacitors all pulled from that board. So far I've added a 74LS04, which is the inverters, a couple of headers, that's it. And I've spent an hour or so, maybe two, in KiCad. So if I pop it up now, this is the KiCad drawing, and as we can see, here's the processor. Now in KiCad they didn't have this processor, so what I did, I just, on the clean sheet of paper, I brought in the Z80, which had that sort of format, and then I just went round and changed all the numbers to fit the data sheet, and then saved it as the HD63A01 that you see here. Now part of this video is so that DigiCool Things can have a look at this and see if I'm making any sense. We have a bit of logic here that while the reset is low, puts the mode select data onto port 2. So I want to use mode 2, which I think is the correct mode to give me the EEPROM access and that. And so for that I need to have P2 pin 1, or port 2 pin 1 high. So I'm going to pull the other two down with links, and the resistor will pull the other one up. And then as it comes out of reset, that should load them in and put me into mode 2. Mode 2 allows me to have one port as I/O, and some of the P2 port can be I/O, but it means that P4 becomes the high order address, and P1 becomes the low order address and the data bus. So they have to be, so it's a multiplexed, and so therefore the address has to be latched, so that when you're setting up the addresses, you latch the high address goes in and gets latched, and then the low address comes in. And looking at the data sheet, they said for noise issues it's best to latch both of them. So I've put two latches in. They're 74LS573s. I thought there were 473s. Oh well, I better check that. And now I've moved it, it doesn't want to go back to where I want it. I shall check them out, because I should be, I think, two 73s. But anyway, I'll check them out. I'm not. Maybe it's just the fact it's I've gone from 74 series to LS and the numbers have changed. But we'll check that out. And as the EEPROM wants to sit top end going down, the NAND gates here, they're just basically ending the top 4 address bytes, so that the EEPROM will sit from FF down, and it's a 8K EEPROM, so it will sit from OXFFFF to OXE0000. I say this has just been thrown together, and whether I breadboard it, I don't know. I'm not sure if I can get a PCB made. Might do. This is just video number 1, just to show the lash up. Video number 2 will probably happen once I've read the data sheet more, and I might have to do something about the reset, because currently it's just a resistor and a capacitor. So what will happen is when you turn the power on, the capacitor will be discharged, so the reset line will be pulled low. As the capacitor charges up, the reset line comes high. But depending on the impedance and things around here, it's going to affect it. I may have to disconnect it from, I might disconnect that. But again, I could remove that and keep that. It's all up in the air. 470k may not be enough with a capacitor to give me the timings, so maybe a second resistor to lower it. I'm just throwing things on the drawing as a kind of thought process, and we'll see what happens. So, if you like what you see, click on the subscribe, click on the like button, and then click on the notification bell, because you won't want to miss out on video number 2, will you? Catch you later.